Sounds awesome. And then after that, then that will build the platform towards a multiplayer type environment.
Yes, that's how we feel about it. We know that many people think that multiplayer is simple. It may be simple in some context. In if you have a driving game running around circuits, multiplayer it makes sense just to hop in with a bunch of friends or with a bunch of strangers, do a round or two of a competition and race, and then find out who is the winner and who is the loser, and just disappear and never hear about each other. With our game, with people having tens and hundreds of hours invested into their career mode, obviously they want to bring all that they've built upon so far into the connected world, into being able to have a shared experience, but at the same time keeping their equity invested time reflecting there too, having their tuning parts and everything, have a tricked up trucks, having it there. And for this we need persistence first before we can do connected experience. So we need to take it step by step, and we need to make sure that it happens in parallel with other things that we are doing with the AI and the new projects and the new DLCs. So we're always juggling so many balls in the air, but where I want to do all of this. I'm always asking people, can you do this or that? But then we realize that there are so many steps to take before you arrive to this destination or that destination, that it's not. This is a long road. This is a long haul for us. It's not like next year suddenly there is going to be a huge, totally revolutionary trucking game coming from us. The more we go, the deeper we go with simulation, the deeper we go with the physics simulation and the economic simulation and the world behavior, the more time everything takes. And now even 30 people doesn't feel like enough. If you asked me 2 years ago, I would say 30 people is, it's so much that we can never take advantage of it. But now we realize that even 30 people may not be enough for us to satisfy the needs of the players, to satisfy the opportunities on the market.
Well, you've got 450 square meters of office space, so you've got to fill that.
Surprisingly, we managed to fill it quite comfortably already.
What?
One day we need to show maybe photos, or maybe even maybe we can even do a fly-through YouTube movie from the new office. We have a really cozy place now with nice things for the team to enjoy the working place, and of course we can make things much denser in the end, and maybe we will if we dare to hire more. But for now, we have spread out through the place very comfortably, and maybe people would be even complaining about again packing the rooms full of tables. But yes, we have room to grow, and we have slowly but organically we need to find a way to grow so that we don't actually slow us down growing. We need to accelerate our productivity while growing. But it's on the horizon. It's with the plans that we have, with American Truck coming, with the bus game in development, we have to have bodies to throw at the problems. We need to have people giving us results in some reasonable time and not dragging on development forever.
Well, I mean, I think it sounds to me like you're taking the steps in the right directions. I mean, you can't go as quickly as you'd like to, but that's just a limit of economic factors and the size of your team and stuff. But for me, it sounds like you're taking it all in the right direction. But in terms of the games that you've got in the pipeline right now, I mean, American Truck Simulator is in development, isn't it? So can you tell us more about what? I mean, we've seen screenshots on the blog. It looks fantastic. I have to say, I can't wait to play that game. But what can we expect in that? Is there going to be anything different from Eurotruck, apart from obviously the scenery in the trucks? But is there any new features? And any idea when it's going to come out?
Well, American Truck is if we were to cover all of Northern America at least at the same scope and level of detail as we have covered just a fraction of Europe really that we have now, we would take many years, and we will take many years. So the thing is that we are thinking about releasing just a slice of the future game for now, but releasing it soon. I mean, not a year or two from now, but we're talking just months from now. We would be releasing a big part of the world, but still a small fraction of the future scope of the world, with current development happening in California. So American Truck is happening. It's going to try a new business model for the release and for selling the game. We are going to use what I would compare to the Minecraft formula for doing business. When Minecraft started years ago, it was first offered as alpha at a discounted price. Then after some time, they felt that it's got better and more stable, so they said, okay, let's call it beta now and increase the price. And finally, when they finished the game, they said, okay, this is a finished product, let's put the final price point on it. So we are thinking of trying something similar, offering...
Well, Bohemia did that with Arma.
Yeah, but they may have been closer to the final size than we are now. Well, we may have now, let's say, 10% of all of Northern America built with what we have now, and yet we have the ambition to already release in a matter of months. So you see that from somebody looking at us from Texas, and we are in California now, we have a long way to go to make them happy before they can drive in their own backyard.
Yeah, but at least when you release it, and you can only drive over a fraction of North America, but you'll be in some pretty great trucks, and then the modding community will just take off, and suddenly you'll have...
It's possible that it's going to be the final help will come from modding community being so involved that they can practically help us develop the game. It may also happen that once we release the game, and if the initial sales are good enough, that we will finally get this major kick to grow the team, not by a guy or two in a month or two, as I explained, but to go full guns blazing and to hire 10 map designers and just grow the map at incredible speed. But it's an experiment again. We are doing a lot of experiments, I would say, even in business sense and business terms. We are going to try to release a game that will be fully playable. It will have all the features of Eurotruck 2 as they are now there, or as there will be in a couple of months from now. And we are going to give this public promise that whoever buys the game now gets territorial updates until the full size of the America for free. So it's not going to take the DLC business model, but it's going to take this, I would say, reverse Kickstarter business model, where we are going to offer unfinished game on the cheap and get money from supporters, from early supporters, get this money flowing into developing the full product. But at all the time, people should be able to play this partially completed game. So it's a different business model than we have now, starting just with the first DLC for Eurotruck 2. But we feel this may be the only way to get America done really, or done as quick as possible. Because if we were waiting until everything is finished to reasonable coverage of the continent, we may be still talking here 5 years from now, and with 2 or 3 map designers working on the game, we would still be looking at unfinished game, and this is not the way that the players can wait for another continent. We need to accelerate the work, and an experiment with this new business model may really be what it takes to make it happen.
I think that's the only way you can do it with North America, because as you say, it is so vast. But I mean, I don't know if you heard Nico before, but he said that when American Truck Simulator comes out, then he is going to be basically building maps for that. So I don't know if you intend to bring in some modders, but you know, he'll be there.
For sure, the opportunity for us is there to tap into the potential of the modder community, and we may have been too slow actually doing it already. We should have been doing it already during the past year for sure. And this is obviously the very pool of talent where people are already. These are people naturally who love the game, who may love it better than a random guy from the street who would be coming to us just based on his CV of trying to make it into the games industry as artist or web designer. So this pool is definitely out there. We want to look into it. We love it when people approach us, but at the same time, I'm very often the bottleneck in the company because a lot of things are passing through my hands in the company. I usually am involved in what people call human resources. I hire people, I talk to community. I actually write the company blog mostly. I think 90% or 80% of the blog posts were written by me. Usually close to midnight, I find the time to finally do a blog update. Well, at least this has been the case until maybe half a year ago when I got another guy from the company finally helping me. But we were such a small company that everybody was doing many roles. It's not like we have a specialist for the PR and a specialist for business development, a specialist for brand licensing. So a lot of these things were passing through my hands, and in many cases dialogues were lost in the middle of sentence. Maybe Nico has also mentioned earlier today that I think they approached us about finding a way to cooperate with us with their back then just Scania ambition of building the part of the world there. And I don't even recall if it was direct contact or if it was through somebody in the middle. All I know is that by the time I raised my head again, they have this huge mod already working and out there. So again, one thing that we need to do is to delegate work to more people in the company, to have maybe new roles created for paying attention to stuff that we didn't have bandwidth or time to pay attention to in the way that it would deserve.
Do you think you'll, I mean, in terms of direction of Eurotruck and American Truck Sim, have you got any plans to bring stuff into the game to make it more, how can I put it, for people who like a more realistic experience, if you like, because this is quite an accessible game. This is pitched at a very accessible level, but there's definitely a yearning, even from me, to be able to turn on options to make it more challenging, more difficult deliveries. To have fuel usage based on the way I drive. More kind of standard sim stuff, if you like. Are you going to go in that direction as well, or are you just going to keep it at this level?
We are slowly but surely always going towards this direction. It's how to put it? It's always several things that need to align together to make this progress. First of all, we are aware that maybe 60 or 70% of our players are not kids. These are usually 30+ year guys, adults, who have some relation to trucking, who are truck fans in real life too, or big vehicle fans, or vehicle fans in general too. And of course they want more, they want deeper experience, they want to feel like this is a real truck and not just a toy. But at the same time, we don't want to lose those 10-year-olds, 12-year-old kids just goofing around and playing around. We always want to make sure that when you pick the game and you press forward arrow, you start moving with the vehicle, and you press the arrows left and right, and you feel like you can drive. But it's all a question of making things layered enough, or optionally selectable, or optionally switchable on and off in the simulation, where we would have accessible game at the one end of the spectrum, and at the same time having these extra layers, allowing people who want like deep simulation experience to experience it. So we have been developing the current physics model of the vehicle for God knows how many years, for many years, and it's something that in our current plans is calling for even finer simulation of the internals of the truck engine. So we actually have some model of fuel consumption now in the game. We didn't have it for 10 years doing trucking games, but now there is something in place, and it's only reflecting it through the truck dashboards or reflecting it in gameplay is a lot of glue code that needs to be created and changing the assets that need to show these things and then reflected in gameplay. So again, this is a big part of the problem is again the historical legacy of having truck models, truck interiors built over the years that we have to revisit now and alter things. But things are coming, and we think that we will be giving experienced players more depth. We'll be adding more depth to the simulation. But I would never want to go to the extreme where I've seen some simulators doing it where I was just a guy just trying out a game, and I didn't manage to get the vehicle moving. I just tried to press 1,000 hotkeys, and I didn't know what I need to do to start it, to ignite the engine.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to go to this depth where you have to have a driving license for the vehicle before you can even play the game. So
I wouldn't want you
we have
to do
to
that.
strike the right balance.
I wouldn't want you to do that either. I mean, a friend of mine plays X-Plane, and you can buy different planes for that and complicated planes, and he said that he bought a plane once and he sat on the runway for 45 minutes reading the manual before he could even start the engine and take off. I mean, a lot of people like that kind of thing, but that's not my kind of sim.
Yeah, I think if you are the person who wants to, simulate what pilot's life is like, then this is the game for you. The trouble is that maybe there will be 10,000 people like this who would be super happy and super delighted to play such a game. The trouble is that at that moment they are maybe losing 100,000 people who just want to try out and feel like they are succeeding, feel like they are making some progress, and not getting frustrated and just dropping the game half an hour later and never returning to it again. And if we want to succeed on the market, we still want to and we need to satisfy as many players as we can. We cannot just focus on super narrow, vocal and active hardcore player community among the simmers, but we need to be accessible at all times. Once we limit our accessibility, we basically just collapse into this black hole of just having a very shrinking our own market compared to growing it and allowing the growth to be invested back into more cool stuff. We could paint ourselves into the corner by going too deep into the simulation too soon. We need to make it properly balanced, and then we need to figure out how to make it like maybe having actually several alternate simulators within the same package, or being able to switch on and off certain features so that the truck driver in real life can appreciate the depth, but at the same time his son, who is just looking up at his father and as his hero figure, can still play the game as well with some simulation features switched off.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got a really accessible game, but I would love to see options to make it deeper. But that's just a personal preference. I mean, I'd settle for having really good physics as well, and really good gear changes and proper kind of truck modelling.
All these things are hopefully coming. I just cannot tell you now when they are coming, but the AI is being changed. The physics is being, in many ways, improved. The graphics engine is going to be improved. We are finding ways to optimize things. Through the past year, we have changed the game engine from being just single core, very simple, quite complicated, but still in some technical aspects very simple code, into finally utilizing at least some multi-threading power. So for people with modern CPUs with 8 cores now, we finally offloaded some of the work to multiple cores. So people should be seeing not necessarily higher frame rate, but people should be seeing less frame rate spikes, right, or less stuttering in frame rate. And all this is not yet finished. It's midway through development, but things are going to get even better. We have now tools to help us debug and optimize these features. But it's always these just couple of programmers. They're always stretched so thin between implementing features for the new update and fixing the old stuff and revisiting a tool that needs to be made more productive for our web designers or 3D artists. So it's always a balancing act, also on the level of distributing the task or distributing the manpower that we have for things that are both visible to the player with updates coming, and both improving the life of the content creation team, giving them better tools, making them more productive, which would be reaping the benefits only at some point later. But we always feel that we have huge debts internally in the way that our tools are limited or should be more productive or more flexible for the guys who build the game on top of the technology. And this is also something that it's always a deep struggle between satisfying so many different needs and ambitions.
Completely understand. You've got your work cut out for sure. I was just asking, like, new features once more. Are you going to put seasonal weather in there, or, you know, the idea of it snowing or autumn, or is that just too difficult because of the mapping would have to change for each season?
I would love to have this feature. I think if we ever pull off this feature, this would be probably a defining feature that, in my eyes, would allow us to call such an update Eurotruck 3 or really the next game, because seasons would allow so much, not just on graphical level, but also for the business simulation, where suddenly you wouldn't be playing the game in this semi-frozen summer, early autumn time, but you would be able to plan particular weeks of the year, and you would be, you know, the business side of the game would really explode with having a calendar that you can schedule events into all around the year. But this is a huge feature. I mean, I've seen mods putting into some of our games, let's say all winter countryside, but it's always like static change. You change the texture set, you change some models, replace them with something else. But to have like a continuous season changes, it means tagging everything in our world for a particular season and weather pattern, and then having alternates for the different seasons, having alternates for different weather situations. And this is on content side, especially with, again, the term legacy or heritage that we have from the map that's been built over the years. This is a huge effort. This is, to make it right, this is like many years of work. So is this ambition here? Yes, it is, absolutely. I would love to see it. Is this really on the drawing board for any time soon? Not yet, really. It's one of the major wish lists that myself I would love to see, but we have more pressing needs now to address, and this is queued for later.
Totally understand. Never stop dreaming though.
Yeah, well, there's so many dreams and always so little bandwidth to really make progress. We feel, I always feel, I know I was been telling it to people repeatedly, we are in this situation with our sims that there are maybe 100 really important features that we should put into the game, and every year maybe we manage to implement 5, maybe 10 if we are lucky, and there will always be 90 features left from this list, and the next year people will come up with really cool and logical things to grow this list to 110 or 120 points, and we will again the next year maybe figure out how to address 10 of them. The good thing about it is, so long as we move forward, so long as we manage to put in new features, I think if we manage the expectations right in the player community, then we are all good. We are all seeing the progress, we are all seeing new things, and we can look forward to yet more new things coming later. But this is probably the state of things for many years to come. And if we put it all of this in some magical form in finite time, then what would we do next? We would be finished. Everything would be done. So the good thing, unlike games in many other genres, these games have to come out fully rounded in gameplay sense. They have to have total balance in the gameplay, whatever gameplay genre they are addressing. For us, we can actually pick almost randomly. Some people would like multiplayer, some people would like VTC, some people would like more simulation depth, and you can name 100 of such features. And even if we pick totally randomly and implemented 5 of those things, we would still be happy about the progress. And yet, of course, we are not picking randomly, and we never will, because all things are related, and we have to take them in some logical technology sense sequence. But we have a lot of work ahead of us and many years of improvements ahead of us, and we will still never be finished.
No, I don't think you will. But, you'll be building something that people want to carry on playing for many years. A lot of the people who play this game are extremely knowledgeable about trucks and trucking. A lot of them are actual real truckers. Are you planning on doing anything to tap into that vast knowledge that is available?
This is yet another ambition that I've been dreaming about for some years, but never had the manpower. I never had the guts to kick off. Finally, last week, just by coincidence, we were discussing it, and we came up with a solution. We came up with the right person to spearhead this effort. We're going to start an official wiki site for our research, and we will be putting our current research into the open, and we will be asking our fans to help to complement it, to fact check, to add details to it, so that when our guys are building, let's say, a new country, they don't have to spend days and weeks researching what the license plate looks like, and what the traffic signs are like, what the pattern of changing of orange, red, and green lights are on traffic lights. Because in some countries we messed up. We sometimes think we researched it correctly, and then people are correcting us. The license plates in the UK have a very different logic than what you've picked. So we make mistakes. We have to correct them. If we manage to involve community into giving us this information ahead of time, and there is many things. It's not just road signage, or it's not just what the world looks like. It's also about, truck data, gear ratios, or engine powers, the curves that the engine is giving with particular RPMs. All this would be helpful to the physics, to the map creation, to maybe even people in the community would give us access to blueprints of vehicles, where we are often struggling figuring out where to source these files from. Because even if we have cooperation with some of the truck manufacturers, there is still a ton of time spent finding out the proper materials for our guys to build the vehicles productively, without having to always iterate on the shapes just based on a couple of random photos. So we definitely plan to involve community into our research or into our fact checking, and do it quickly. Not the plan is to do it now, and I'm talking weeks time frame rather than months or years, because we have missed out on this opportunity for quite some time. We have lost a lot of time trying to research facts for us ourselves, when there is hundreds and maybe thousands of people out there willing to help, contribute in a little way about what they know themselves about from their own life experience. And we will do it. We will do it soon.
That's fantastic. I mean, I think there's just a world of people out there that will just be more than happy to effectively do all that research for you, and that takes the load off you as well.
Yeah, this is definitely something that we should have done already, and it's good that we are at least thinking about it now or acting about it now.
Cool. Are you all right for another 10 minutes then? Questions? Because we have been talking a long time.
Yeah, time is flying.
I'm sure you want to get off to bed. It's probably quite late there, isn't it? It's like nearly midnight.
10 to midnight.
Okay, well, let's just cut through a few more questions, and then it's been awesome talking to you, but you like me, you're a family man and you need to get your sleep.
Yeah, I guess the kids are already sleeping upstairs. I'm a father of 3, so big family and lots of joy in life.
Absolutely. Lots of stress.
Yeah.
One of the things that people would love, because I mean obviously not everybody can do mods, and it's not particularly easy to do mods, but one of the most requested features I hear is the ability to effectively design a skin within the game. So the ability to just, even if you just got some predefined shapes and colours and things, and you could just slap them on the top or on the side or on the back. Have you got any kind of plan to do something like that?
Well, I would love to say that we have this in our immediate plans, because it would be so cool for people to be able to design their own paint jobs. I know that some big driving games, Forza I think, have really nice systems where you basically use what they call decals. They project images over each other into layers on top of the vehicle shape to create really incredible paints, incredible patterns on the vehicles. I would love to be able to come close to such a feature, but I'm sure that it's a many year or maybe too many years of solid work that they have to put into such a feature, and we don't see yet having this capacity available. So I know that would be it would make adjusting, it would make move the game from the realm of only very experienced or very technically capable people being able to create such paint mods into the realm of almost every player being able to tune their trucks, including the paint, to their liking. And I wish we could do it, but it's another wishlist item that I'm not sure how much time it will spend just on the wishlist before it moves into actual production. But this is definitely on my radar.
Yeah, you probably got a pretty big wishlist, I imagine.
Yeah, one day we are always collecting wishes from the community, and of course, over the 10 plus years doing the truck games, there is a ton of features and very correctly requested features being repeatedly banged on our heads. You need to have it, you need to do it, and yes, we need to. We just need to find ways to do it all, to pull it all off.
One of the questions that I would really like answering, Pavel, is why is Mercedes not in the game? Why is it Majestic? Because everybody else has signed up.
You cannot imagine how much time myself I have spent over the past 3 years chasing the brands. It's looking back, maybe we just ignore it and have brandless trucks. I know people would not like it. People would have to rely just on mods to have it in the game. But it's been so much of my brain power invested into chasing the brands that I think it could have been spent better on actually making practical gameplay features. Or I'm not anymore programming them. I used to be a programmer. Now I'm mostly just manager, business guy. But I could help the guys arriving to decisions quicker if I were available more often in actual development versus me having my brain occupied with how to write another email or how to make another phone call to this or that company to make some progress with the brands. In the end, things pretty much worked out. We have 6 out of the 7 major European truck manufacturers fully, I think, even happy with being in the game. Daimler, Mercedes-Benz brand owner, is the last pocket of resistance, I would say. Over the years, we had 3 discussions with the company, each time looking like promising that the breakthrough could be achieved. But these are really huge companies that they obviously protect their brands very, very strictly. And there's always a chance that the dialogue will break because maybe somebody changes position, you talk to somebody who suddenly has a different role at a different continent. We are in discussion anyway with Mercedes-Benz again as of a couple of weeks ago, thanks to a guy from the community. Hi, Sebastian. We re-established contact with them. So sometimes community even succeeds where we failed before. So we have another chance now ahead of us of hopefully taking the discussion to fruitful result, and we will see. It would be great to finally have all of Europe, all the major brands covered. I know there are more local brands. One day, let's say when we make it to Russia, there are important and to the hearts of players there, crucial brands to have there in the game too. But for the territory that we are covering now, if we conquered Mercedes-Benz, we would be really, really happy because I could stop worrying about this thing. I could finally consider it a thing of the past. And we think we are a great PR canvas for those companies to realize their marketing. That's always my argument to the companies when I approach them, that it's, let's say, it's not smart not to be in the game.
Yeah, it's free marketing.
It's smart to be there, but often it takes some weird things, well, not weird things, but often it takes just, again, lucky coincidences, like maybe one of the decision makers having a son or nephew who is playing these games and explain it to the adult who's not a gamer at all, who is a highly positioned manager, that these games are really cool, and showing to his father or uncle that, you know, here's the game, and you know, these guys have been doing it for years, and I'm playing it, and I'm disappointed for talking for the boy. I'm disappointed that your company is not there, and then there was such a case where this was really what made the difference. After spending a year exchanging emails or phone calls, finally the breakthrough was achieved when a family member discovered for his father, or persuaded his father that it makes sense, because these companies are ready to spend huge amount of marketing funds on, let's say, paper magazines promotions or TV shots or whatever, and they don't realize that here we are with a game that's played by hundreds, thousands of people, and who love this is the right audience for pushing the brands. And it's still very hard for me to communicate the benefits for people who naturally, from their point of view, they want to protect the brand. They don't want anybody to make them look bad. So we are always stressing that this is non-controversial, no violence, no bad things happening. That we are treating that this is almost an educational game with traffic laws being promoted rather than people doing crazy things and being rewarded for doing crazy things, like in Grand Theft Auto. Hopefully this, as I said, last pocket of resistance is going to be conquered eventually. Certainly I would love it to happen.
I do hope so. I think it's crazy that they don't do it, but you know, obviously maybe you'll make a breakthrough, because ETS is such a much bigger game now than it probably was when you last spoke to them, so maybe they'll be convinced this time.
I can only hope so.
One last question then, before obviously you can get off to bed. Coach Simulator, what's going on with Coach Simulator?
Well, Coach Simulator is One of the things that we started very early after finishing ETS2, this was supposed to be, when we started it, it was supposed to be one of the steps to save the company from collapsing from lack of funds. It was supposed to be a quick mod for Eurotruck 2 complementing trucks with buses. Then we realized that Eurotruck 2 sales have been stronger than absolutely we could imagine. So we thought, okay, let's go deeper. Let's not make a quick mod out of it. Let's make it a full game that deserves the status of the full game. So Eurotruck 2 is a running project now at SCS. We have several coach buses built already. Some of them are half finished, some of them are fully finished. Many people would have noticed that the plan for the game is to share the same game world with Eurotruck 2, with bus stops already being put into the existing map. We were not willing to, split the map into the two versions too early. So we adjusted the tracking world to be able to absorb buses and best bus gameplay as well into it. But the ambition for the game is to have a separate, different gameplay, different UI, different problems to solve for the player. So it's not a game that we'll be releasing in the next few months. It's something that will take, definitely people will see some of it much later than they will see American Truck Simulator snippets coming out or actually playing the game out there in the open. But it's another important, we think, another important pillar for now to keep as many people from related niches, not just truck simulation but also other vehicle types, to have them involved into the big pile of driving experience. And we would like actually to add more if only there was ever the bandwidth to do it. And as I explained, we have 100 features on the wish list that we may do 5 or 10. But if ever we manage to grow in skills and honest skills, so just, I would say, bandwidth for development, I would love to do more vehicles. I would love to do fire engines, driving around our connected world and performing special tasks. I would like to do recovery trucks. I would love to do whatever, even street cleaners, whatever it makes sense to have it to share the same world or share the same sort of meta game space, even if it's not necessarily the same map, but maybe it's snippets of experience that are making sense together in this mishmash of persistent player profile, collecting experience with various aspects of big truck driver's life. But buses are supposed to be the first trial balloon in this direction too. Again, another experiment. And I know I've been for 2 hours almost. I've been talking about experiment this and experiment that's. Really, SCS is trying out things. It's not like we are pursuing just one firm plan that's black on white for years to come. It's a lot of finding out where we are comfortable with things, how to best use the talent that we have, how to best take internal motivations of the people on the team into the directions that they think fits them best. And the coach bus game, or most likely in the end it's going to be called Bus Driver 2 when we finally release it, because this is a franchise that we established already with the first game 7 or how many years ago. Bus Driver 2, the coach simulator game for driving buses over long distances, is definitely going to come out, but it may take a year, or people know us already, it may even take 2 years. I hope not, but it's going to come only when it's ready to be released, not sooner.
I'd be quite happy for you guys to focus on Eurotruck and American Truck Simulator myself.
I know, but it's not like it's necessarily blocking our progress in these areas. It's lots of other things. When it comes to content, well, I may contradict my own words, but when it comes to content, you can build 10 vehicles in parallel and not having to wait or somehow compromise each other, because you can assign 10 people on the 10 vehicles. It's a little less possible to make things in parallel with the map world. And it's even worse when it comes to programming, because often when you program one feature, it interacts with many other features in the technology. But when it comes to content, the new bus game is mostly about content, really. There are some ambitions for different gameplay, but we can grow into building content reasonably quickly. And this is actually how it all started when we finished Eurotruck 2. We thought, okay, we spent 3 years developing new technology, new graphics engine, new physics, new stuff. Now we need to take the investment back by producing more content and as quickly as possible. It was the ambition. It's not clearly a very well executed ambition, because instead of unleashing DLC after DLC quickly, instead, in all directions where we have started running, we got slower. It took us a year to release the DLC. Eurotruck is not on the horizon. Eurocoach or Bus Driver is not yet on the horizon even. American Truck is going to be released just as a slice of the future game. But at all situations, along the road, it always made sense for us to make things this way, and we feel it still makes sense for us to make things this way, the way that we are doing them.
Good stuff. So, I mean, I just want to say thank you very much, basically, Pavel, because I've really enjoyed Eurotruck, and I've played it a lot of hours, and I think a lot of the people that are in the stream right now have loved listening to you, because we have been talking for like 2 hours or something. Like, you've been talking
it's
mostly.
It's incredible. I still see 1,733 people tuned in.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for attention. I know I talked a lot. Maybe I should keep the cards closer to my vest.
I think,
but I've been maybe totally open, and I may even be sorry for being so open, because people may read into it more than I was trying to say. I'm trying not to overpromise. I would like to overdeliver, but I hope people will not understand me as overpromising. I try to manage expectations.
People appreciate your honesty, I think.
We're definitely here. We're definitely loyal to the genre. We're definitely looking into ways into being more productive, getting you stuff faster, getting you stuff that's more varied, getting you stuff that's deeper. This is a call to the community now. Just please have patience with us, guys, and show us your support. We absolutely depend on your support, and without you, we wouldn't be where we are now. So hopefully with you, we are going to be much further a year or two from now.
I can't wait to see where this franchise goes. I'm thinking in 5 years' time, this is going to be like the EVE Online of the trucking world.
I would love to say it's going to be in 3 years, but I would be happy for it to be in 5 years, for sure.
A nice big MMO and lots of vehicles, lots of stuff to do, and all persistent, cloud-based, all that good stuff. But I think you're taking it all in the right direction, and it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on this evening talking to us all. You've really given us lots of entertainment. I think you've given us lots of insight into SCS and some of the struggles that you guys have got over there, and totally appreciate where you're coming from now, and just continue to make this game really awesome, and we'll just love you for it, basically.
Thank you, and you're welcome. I've seen the thanks, thank you here on the chat. Thank you guys for being so supportive.
Can we give Mr. Pavel some hugs and some squirrel nuts, and thank you for joining us and all that good stuff, guys? I think they'll do it.
Yeah, I see it pouring. Well, Paul, thank you again. I think I should have stressed more how important people like Paul or like Heralis are for us, because they energize the community. They also give us important channel of feedback flowing our way. So I'm really grateful for what you're doing. It's incredible for me that this is something that's happening around our game, I could understand it around these big first-person shooter games where there are millions of fans and customers, but for our little game to suddenly become big enough to deserve such a spotlight as YouTubers spending hours, or you on Twitch spending hours and hours of your time almost daily with the game. It feels so good. It feels like it's giving me so much inspiration to go on and never give up.
Please do.
It's
go
good.
on.
It's good.
So
thank you, Paul. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining the stream, and I hope you have a pleasant sleep, and hopefully I shall speak to you soon.
Yeah, I think we should keep in touch for sure, and maybe, who knows, a year from now again, maybe quicker, maybe faster.
I'd like to think less than that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
okay.
when American Truck comes out, we can come and chat about that when it comes out.
Okay.
All right.
I'm all yours when it comes out.
Awesome. Good night, Pavel.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Guys, that is Mr. Pavel Sebor, and we just talked for like 2 hours or something.
User disconnected.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you for wishing him well. That was, as you probably noticed, I basically made a conscious effort to shut up and to just let Pavel talk. I didn't want to interrupt him. I didn't want to get in the way of what he was going to say. I had questions from you guys. I paraphrased a lot of your stuff, but wasn't that fantastic? I mean, he just basically talked to us for 2 hours. I don't think he's ever done that with any streamer, and a lot of insight into SCS. A lot of insight. We got a lot of information there actually about Coach Simulator, this world of trucks, American Truck Simulator. He's such a nice guy, and he just basically opened up. You know, he didn't, at no point did he say I can't tell you that. He just basically told us how it is. They've got like nearly 30 guys there now, and I can't believe they put out an amazing game. What an amazing game they've put out with such few people. It is just incredible. I did see subscriptions, and you guys obviously sent messages in. There's another one through. Really great interviews. Have learned a lot, and a lot of the dodgy driving. Oh yeah, I told you there would be, including a flipped Scania. I couldn't respond to all the donations, the deliveries you guys sent, and all the messages and the subscriptions. I just basically had to let him talk. And I know you wanted to ask him various things, but I did put that out a couple of weeks ago, asking for questions from you guys. So I did have my list ready, and I'd already shown in the list of the questions the kind of things we were going to talk about, so that there were no surprises. So I couldn't start hitting him with curveballs and asking him random questions. But I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed talking to both Pavel and to Nico. I did promise to do another delivery. Another giveaway. Sorry, I'm going to do that when I make this delivery shortly. We're going to give away 4 more Eurotruck keys. Pure Weapon, thanks for the great stream. This was probably the best one for a long time. And Pavel, if you're reading this, thanks for joining us. Very appreciated. Cheers. Absolutely. Just to echo the words of Pure Weapon, it was wonderful to have him on the stream. He took a couple of hours out of his Saturday evening to come and talk to us, and for a CEO of a company, a gaming company, to do that doesn't happen very often, does it? You're not going to get EA's director on this stream, that's for sure.